Hey, what's up, everybody? So, um, today I'm taking a little bit break of doing some of the fragrance reviews, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight on the latest thing that I'm doing, which is the Omad, or they call it the Warrior Diet. There's two different names. The one is called the Warrior Diet. Is actually it's a book by Ori Hofmeckler, and so that's why they call it the Warrior Diet. There's another term, it's called Omad, which stands for 1 meal a day. And what kind of got me interested in doing the Omad or the Warrior Diet was for the fact that, like, my background is in powerlifting, and I powerlift. You know, I don't compete anymore, but I still continue to do the power movements pretty much for, like, just my own health and stuff like that. And I noticed that, you know, my weight, you know, obviously when you get stronger and you're lifting heavier weights, your weight goes up. What I didn't like about it was the fact that when I would put my weight training belt on, I would start to see my stomach starting to kind of like muffin top over the belt, and I've never experienced anything like that in many years. For the longest time, I've always been able to see, like, my abs, and so I started to kind of take a closer look into Omad in the Warrior Diet. There's another guy's name is Dr. Noon Amin Ra. And Dr. Noon Amin Ra is also, he's like a world-class, like, natural vegan powerlifter. Now, I'm not vegan by any means at all. Like, I eat meat. But what I was intrigued about was the fact that he is, like, one of the top, like, natural vegan powerlifters, and he's only eating 1 meal a day. So the reason why I did this is, one, because, you know, when I used to be a personal trainer, one of the things that we used to always preach to our clients was, you know, we would put them on a diet plan, and, you know, there was certain foods they were allowed to eat, certain foods they were not allowed to eat, and there's a time and place for that. If, let's say, for example, if you're getting ready for a competition or something like that. But for me, I was looking for something that was sustainable, something that I could do every day, and something that I know was fail-proof. And that's when I looked more into the 1 meal a day or the Warrior Diet. So I did this for about, I want to say it's been about 6 months now, maybe 6 to 7 months. And the first time that I actually jumped into it, I was kind of like tiptoeing into it. I didn't really want, like, it's almost like when you get to a swimming pool and, like, you put your toe in, you don't really want to jump in quite yet. That's kind of like how I ended up getting into it. And what it was in the beginning, I would have you know, like a snack, and then, like, one big meal at the end of the day. And then so finally I said to myself, well, if I could go, you know, wait near the end of the day and eat a snack in the middle of the day and then one big meal at night, then let me try to do, you know, the 1 meal a day. Let's try it out, because I saw a lot of the results that a lot of guys online were getting. There's another guy online who does the 1 meal a day, and this guy went from like 300 and something pounds, and the results that he saw were huge. And he eats pretty much whatever he wants, because, like, the whole thing behind eating 1 meal a day is that what you're doing is you're keeping your body in a caloric deficit. So basically what that means is that you are consuming less calories than you're actually burning. So technically you're always in a fat burning mode. Your body's always in a fat burning mode. And so there was a formula that we used to use, or that I would use for my clients when I was a personal trainer, and I would find out their metabolic rate. Basically, what that means is I would find out what their metabolism rate was, considering, taking into consideration, do they sit all day, are they active, what their age is, how much their body weight is. And then there was a formula that I learned through personal training that would allow me to calculate all of that and be able to basically find out how many calories they needed to consume to drop weight, and also how many calories they needed to consume in order to gain weight. Because some people want to gain weight, some people want to put on muscle, and fat comes along with that. You're not, if you're eating excess calories, yeah, you're gonna get strong, but you're also gonna get fat too. And what I find interesting is it's very controversial subject with the 1 meal a day. Ori Hofmeckler is definitely pushing the topic, and it's a very, like he said in one interview, is a very controversial topic, which was, like, there's a lot of talk about, can you put on muscle eating 1 meal a day? And there are a lot of people actually doing it. People are, and what's going on really is they say that the body, when you're in a fasted state, your growth hormone levels for a man shoot up to about, I think it's like 2,200%. For a woman, it's like 1,300%. So, your growth hormone there's a direct correlation between your testosterone and your growth hormone. There's a link there, and so we all know that when your testosterone levels are up, testosterone puts you in an anabolic state. And basically, what that means is it puts your muscles in a state where you're in a better state to build muscle versus break down muscle. And so that's why if you look into a lot of programs like the Warrior Diet, the Omad it's very similar. It's very, if not the same as the Warrior Diet. The only difference is Omad, if you do a lot of research on Omad, I don't really see a lot of like powerlifters or anything talking about Omad. I mean, it's kind of a new term, even though it's not a new idea. But the nice thing about the 1 meal a day or the Warrior Diet is that when you are about to break your fast, you're about to eat, and you train heavy while your body is in a fasted state, your adrenaline is through the roof, and that actually is very beneficial for lifting heavier weight. Another thing is that it puts your focus is spot on, like you're in an extreme state of focus. And because basically what's going on is when you get hungry, many of us start to get a little jittery. We start to, like, some people even panic, and that is the body telling us, hey, it's time to find food. You need to go and look for food. You need to go hunt for food. And so that is the whole concept behind heavy weight training while you're on the Warrior Diet or while you're on the Omad, is because you're utilizing your adrenaline levels for your advantage. And this is something that Dr. Noon Amin Ra, this is something that he also incorporates. And what he does basically is he does cardio twice a day sometimes, and then in the evening time before he eats, he has a session of heavy weight training. His specialty seems to be the deadlift, because he's got the record for the deadlift in his class. And so this, to me, like I said previous, was that the 1 meal a day seems to be the most sustainable, because I used to compete in bodybuilding competitions, and even post competition, like I toyed around with like, okay, let me tweak the diet and just eat cleaner and healthier and all this stuff. And I'm sorry, but it's just, for me, it's just not a very sustainable solution, because there's going to be times where you just want to eat what you want to eat. But what I like the most about one meal a day is that I eat what I want a majority of the time, actually. And the nice thing is that I never gain weight. And since I've been on the one meal a day, I actually went from the first 6 weeks that I did it, I went from about 197, 198 down to the low 180s. And I was not gaining weight. Muffin top was starting to disappear. Yeah, I was getting a little bit weaker, but when you're heavy weight training, the weight training promotes anabolism, basically. It promotes you to be in a state where your body and your muscles are in a more anabolic state. And I've actually seen guys who are doing this, who are eating one meal a day. They're actually able to lift more weight pound for pound while they're on the one meal a day program or the Warrior Diet program, and actually put on muscle. I've seen a couple YouTubers actually put on muscle during their time in a caloric deficit. So this is kind of like something that is changing a lot of ideas in the fitness world. But just to show you, because I'm running out of time here on my card, I'm going to show you what I'm eating for dinner. Really quick, hold on. You know, and I don't eat kind of sloppy like all the time, but the nice thing about the Warrior Diet is that it gives me the flexibility to choose what I want to eat without having to worry about the consequences of